Not for broadcast, baby.
Oh, Megan.
Let's do it.
We're only getting started.
Good evening. I'm Megan Wolf.
And continue. There we go. All right. Jumping right back into it, dude. Last time this game was insane. I think I'm going to do much better this time, though. I was not getting the censoring at all. All right, we got some reading right off the bat. A rude awakening. The rhythmic beeping of the heart monitor brings you slowly back to consciousness. Opening your eyes, you are greeted by a semicircle of concerned faces. Your family by your side, a reassuring, familiar sight in these new surroundings. You blink a few times to clear the sleep from your eyes and bring everyone into focus. You feel a hand on yours, gentle but reassuring. Sam there with you as always. Her expression, understandably concerned, is somehow more affectionate than ever. We knew you would be okay, never doubted it for a second. And if I ever see that Bozeman... Oh, that's right. So we just woke up. Because we were in a dream when we, at the very end of the last time we played, things were going crazy and the sky was all weird. You squeeze her hand back and attempt a wink. The worry lines on Sam's forehead fade a bit. Lord knows you've both been through enough to be anxious about... Lord knows that you've both been enough to be anxious about without your health being thrown into the mix. With a final smile at her, you turn to the rest of your family. Just as you feel Susie's absence, you notice Charlie fidgeting, clearly trying to not look worried. As soon as you turn to look at him, you can see Charlie tense up, his concern clear on his face. So, you're definitely good, right? He finally asked, quickly looking away. Of course I am, buddy. There's nothing to worry about. Yeah, I'm not going to be a dick to him. Charlie looks at you and grins. One of those infectious smiles that spread... That was weird. One of those infectious smiles that spread around the room. It's always good to have him in your corner. Your smile fades as you notice your mother staring listlessly out the window. Despite all your best efforts, she's not been doing well lately. Are you okay, Mom? Your mother starts. Your mother starts. You're clearly shocking her. Your mother starts. Your mother starts. Stares? Your mother stares. It's got to be a stare. Your mother stares, your call clearly shocking her out of her reverie. She turns to you and smiles, and you're grateful to see the increasingly rare recognition in her eyes. Yes, dear, of course. How are you feeling? You smile warmly and nod, but before you can respond, a doctor bustles in and ushers everyone out. She asks you for what feels like the 100th time how you're feeling. Surprisingly well, all things considered. Excellent. There's no sign of any real damage, just a bit of shock to the old system. Pardon the pun, she smiles. Not that we'd recommend you do anything like that again, of course. After a couple of days of rest at home, you should feel right as rain. She turns to leave, but stops at the door. Oh, in the private room and care. The doctor gestures to the room, which you now notice looks rather expensive. Has all been paid for by Mr. Bozeman. He left those flowers and said not to worry and to take the rest of the week off. He'll see you Monday, apparently. Seems like the least he could do. Yeah, I mean, the whole system blew up in my face. The English is something. It is very hard to read, and I feel illiterate reading it because they're using words that I don't even know what that meant. She starts. Also, we're calling our wife, who we've referred to as our wife, who has been referred to as the mother of your children, as they, and exclusively they. And I don't care what anyone says, that will always be confusing because it means more than one. So I will be replacing every instance of them saying they with with she, because it's clear that the person identifies as a she as well. It's said everything else revolving around his wife is she. Her, it even says her, but it won't say she. It's not saying she. It said she about the doctor. It won't say she about your wife, but it will say her. It says her. I look at her. But then it says they look uneasy. It's just, come on. Like, it doesn't make any sense. Why? It clearly isn't a pronoun thing. It's just like a mistake or something. You come home. You come home from a particularly late shift to find the kitchen light still on, which isn't normally a good sign. Everyone's usually in bed by now. Softly opening the kitchen door, you find Sam sat at the table. Bills and papers are strewn in front of her, as well as what looks to be their second pack of biscuits. She gives you a quick kiss, and you take a seat next to her. Sam frowns and goes back to the bills they're holding. She's holding. Hey, sweetheart, just looking at the numbers again. She looks to the door to the pantry, now converted into your mother's bedroom. We've been doing our best, but I think Cassandra really needs a nurse to look after her now. Suddenly, the bills are all you can see. I've been staring at the numbers all night. Tears in her eyes, Sam takes your hand. There's just no way we can afford it. I'm sorry. The kitchen table swims before you. Sam stands up and pulls you into a firm embrace, but all you can think of is your mother and how you can't afford to help her. What would your dad be thinking now? Is this a utopia advance promised? You stare at the door to your mother's makeshift room. Tomorrow you'll need to tell the kids and then book an appointment at the transition center. What else could you have done? What else could you have done? Thought that was me saying that, like, well, what else could you have done? What else could you have done? It's like a thought. What else? A new path, day 199. You're watching TV with Sam when Charlie comes home for the evening. School finished a while ago, but he's been home late more and more recently. You both shrug and finish your episode of Me, My Dalmatians, and I. After it ends, you say goodnight to Sam. You got an early start in the morning. At the top of the stairs on your way to bed, you notice a new poster on Charlie's door. It's homemade, but the image is distinct. A fist, seemingly in orange spray paint, on a black background. The now well-known symbol of disrupt. Seems those friends of his are an interesting bunch. Day 201, a letter home. Does he not work in between these, right? Like, or are we just supposed to assume everything's going well and we're only controlling the broadcast when it's its most chaotic? Is that what's going on? Is that what happens? Thank you, Cool Dog, for reminding me to drink. Sam's out with work tonight, and Charlie's staying with a friend. It's not what it says, but also apparently I'm dyslexic when I read this. When I read this game's text, I'm like all over the place because I think it's the font and the way it's written is just very weird to me. The house is yours. You order take. Wow. Okay. Recenter. You order takeaway. Have a couple of drinks and decide to relax in front of the TV. Not a great selection tonight, but surely something to watch. You feel like a laugh. Comedy it is. I'm not even going to look anything else. The humor is a bit hit and miss, but the joke about the kiln has you bent double in laughter. Wiping a tear from your eye, you spy something reflecting the light of the TV under the coffee table. Curious, you reach down to bring it out into the light. As you pick it up, you remember the note Sam left for you. Hey, sweetheart, Charlie lost Susie's present. Would you mind looking for it tonight? That's the present, obviously, right? As you hold it closer, you're surprised to find the gift's actually an engraved lighter for Chippy. She claims the nickname's affectionate, but Charlie still scowls every time she says it. Wait, what? She claims the nickname's affectionate, but Charlie still scowls every time she sees it. Who's the gift from? You're not sure Sam would approve. The accompanying note from Susie explains, Urkistan has a long tradition of glorifying the art of starting fires. Thought you'd like it. Don't do anything stupid. Suze. Okay, Susie. Hopefully it's just a souvenir and not a new pastime he's picked up. Or about to pick up. It's nice that she thought of him, though. I assume you work in between. Yeah, lots of dialogue, which is fine. I get that they're building the case that this is over the course of a long period of time. But I almost feel like everything that's happening in real life almost doesn't matter except for the story of like the government. But that's fine. That's fine. Day 232, the silence. Can't hear it. Oh, it's silent. Oh boy, that's... Am I deaf? Am I deaf? Definitely not deaf. Okay. All right. Let's queue up some. Some ads. Advanced entitle and no sports board. That's got an Illuminati symbol. Probably shouldn't do that. Oh, that's why I couldn't hear it. Okay.
She nearly blinded me.
10 seconds,
I thought we were
everybody.
all part of a team these days.
Things are better.
I will do
You
that.
know that. Just stop and sit
The last one's
and do
broken.
your job.
You'll have me fired too.
3.
Don't tempt me.
All right.
Good evening. I'm Megan Wolf.
We got
I'm Jeremy
this.
Donaldson. Our main headlines tonight.
The establishment strikes back. The World Council has agreed today to impose punitive sanctions on the people of this country.
The sanctions, which are broad-ranging, include restrictions on the supply of oil and gas, food, clothing, and even some
Yeah,
medicines.
angry. Super
But how should
angry.
we react? We asked the public.
Keep your hands off my
Your
gas.
reaction to the sanctions?
I think it's fucking outrageous. My mind needs insulin.
Ah, damn
Let's
it.
get transitioned. What's the government
My eyes
doing about
darted
it?
around. I won't miss another one.
Thanks, Patrick. Fascinating stuff.
Popular Prime Minister Julia Salisbury has released.
I wasn't
a
expecting a curse word out of
statement in
nowhere.
response to the World Council's controversial announcement.
This international declaration is nothing short of outrageous. We are a democratically elected government with massive popular support. We do not recognise these sanctions, and we encourage other socially progressive nations of the world to both resist and ignore them.
Ooh.
Advance have struck fear into the heart of the international community by showing that it is possible to have radical change for the betterment of the many. And whilst I wish we could improve other countries as much as we have our own, we do not
Oh,
rely
God.
on the help of others to thrive. This country is entirely self-sufficient. We are a team, now more than ever. And this team is on your side. Thank you.
Yeah.
Defiant stuff. But what do you, the public, think of our government's stance? Robin
Angry.
Short,
Angry.
found out.
Anger.
I was wondering if you could tell me what you think
Rawr.
of the government.
What? That shower of iridescent pricks, punishing success and rewarding laziness.
Got it.
They're taking this country down the bloody Swanee. And it's not just me that thinks so. My wife Iris, she agrees.
Over to
She
you,
says
fellas.
nothing.
Global mega corporation Remington's Fist today
didn't look
announced
like she
the trials
agreed either.
successfully completed
Which
on
is
their
concerning.
groundbreaking male contraceptive product.
Don't forget ads and power. Yeah.
The drug has been passed by the government for general release, but the small print warns that, in rare cases, side effects can include
Total
blurred
anger.
vision,
We're not
enlarged genitalia,
buying
and
anything
increased
they're
risk of
selling,
stroke.
dude.
No double entendre intended.
But what do you, the public, think of Sophia Remington's latest venture? Patrick?
Angry.
Would you take the male contraceptive pill?
No, mate. Her body, her baby, her problem.
How progressive. Nothing.
Oh, wow.
The delicate sound of thunder. A frightening start for commuters this morning, who were confronted by a somewhat sinister sight as they left their trains.
Many travellers reported feeling intimidated by the silent figures who stood
I'm going full
motionless
angry,
outside
dude.
every major station in the capital. Radical extremist group Disrupt, who organised the show of strength, refused to comment on the meaning of the strange protest.
Or to apologise to this presenter for making him drop his morning bagel in surprise.
But how do we feel about these somewhat radical extremists and their upsetting methods? Robin found out.
Can I ask your opinions on Disrupt?
Are those the guys in black with the orange fist thing?
That's right.
Can I be honest?
Of course. This is journalism.
Oh.
Feast or famine.
Of course we're
Resourceful
honest. This
doctors
is
David
journalism.
Wall and Ingrid Sforsborg and
Honest.
Hawkinsford today announced their first successful harvest in Dante's taint. Although they can currently only grow a few fungal strains, the scientists seem to be staying positive, as the following picture shows.
The undauntable scientists chose to try and survive in the cave system while the complex rescue operation inches forward up here.
I'm going to go with happy for this
That's
one,
how
unless
they
it
like
has
strong
something to do with the
But
government.
with Advance planning to spend an eye-watering amount of public money on the rescue craft, we asked Patrick Bannon to find out what we should all be thinking about the accelerating costs.
This
Angry.
rescue is going to be expensive.
Angry.
What are your thoughts on that?
Well, I don't want to sound cruel, mate, but fuck 'em.
Oh.
I mean, if they found some rare rocks down there, would I have got a share of the profits? Nah, of course not. So why am I expected to pay now it's all gone tits up? Are you going to pay? Are you?
How much do you want? I think
Tits up is okay?
I am not a number. Applications finally opened today for the new Advance Team membership cards, a scheme by the government to allow fast access to all the new public.
Dude, the government is
services
getting crazy
daily.
overreaching
The team
in
membership
this.
cards are entirely voluntary, but will be recognised as legal identification by all major...
I'm not even going in. I'm
organisations,
full anger, dude.
Banks,
Get outta
and,
here.
frankly, pubs and bars.
And of course, there's no charge, Jeremy.
It all seems too good to be true.
Well, you've always been a cynic. But most importantly, what should you, the public, think about the new team membership cards?
And what do the publics think?
Team membership cards?
Absolutely bloody not. It's the thin end of the wedge, isn't it, Iris? First it's, can I see your identification, sir? And then it's, would you mind bending over the table, sir? So Sergeant State Educated and Constable Regional Accent here can stick their truncheon up your berry hair.
Oh, crikey!
They should call them what they are. They're bloody ID cards. Oh, for Christ's sake, what is it, Iris?
Oh, I'm really not happy, Algernon! I'm so sorry. Crikey.
And finally
And
tonight,
so
getting
his
stuck
wife
in,
is
and
cool
in a
with the
shameless
government
attempt to
overreach?
cash in on his
Strange.
bad boy status, shame celebrity Johnny Hamsleeves announced a new line of real ale at a press conference earlier today.
The new brew, entitled Headbutt Ale in reference to his controversies of last year, promises a night you'll pretend you regret.
Or possibly a night you'll pretend you remember.
If it has to do
So
with the
what should
government.
we all think of Johnny's latest attempt to market his notoriety?
Neutral.
Patrick?
Neutral.
Don't really care, love.
Why?
I like that.
Later tonight,
I
it will
like
be
that.
such a
That's the
it'll be
response.
Jeremy in the culture chair, spitting rhymes
That's
with
funny.
popular rapper Jay Zus. And then we'll both be chatting with a familiar team of thespians set to take the nation by storm again.
That's all coming up on tonight's
National
Nightly
Nightly
News.
Got it, dude. I mean, this is really easy right now. Much easier than it was at the end of last stream. So I'm assuming this is like since it's our first day back since the injury that we've played, at least. They're making it pretty easy. Nice.
Thankfully, some news as we return to our main story.
I messed up.
The World Council today agreed that punitive and potentially illegal sanctions should be imposed upon this country. The sanctions, which come into effect immediately, aim to stop the flow of food, fuel, and even some medicines from reaching your pockets.
Tonight, we have guests from across the continent to discuss this unprecedented situation. For Advance, Peter Clement is at his home in Lamfordshire. Are you there, Peter?
Yes, I can hear you, Jeremy. Thank you.
Didn't know who was
A
who.
momentous day, Prime Minister. Are you shaken?
Oh, I don't scare that easy, I'm afraid, old son. And neither do the people of this country.
Well, joining us is Ivan Vodovich, Foreign Minister of Urkistan. Ivan, thank you for being here.
It's a great pleasure.
It's great pleasure.
Are like strongest guard or labour camp who wake up inside body of crazy, expensive prostitute. In my country, you will be worshipped as a god.
Okay.
Minister, as one of those arguing most strongly for these sanctions, how do you feel about Advance's defiant stance?
Advance is like...
Oh, that's not the guy. I thought they were introducing the third guy.
Sanitarium, screaming at mirror and holding tiny penis in hand.
He's clearly not from Svenland, and we have like some of the cleanest mental health facilities in the continent, yeah?
And welcome to Svenland's Minister of Mojo, Björk. I'm sorry, we don't appear to have your surname.
It's just Björk, yeah. We don't use things like socially divisive surnames here, yeah?
Minister?
It's just Björk, yeah.
Right, Björk.
Björk,
Your
Björk.
country spoke in favour
Björk,
of
Björk.
Advance at the World Council today, but you were noticeably absent when it came to the actual vote.
Well, what a surprise. The hippies didn't show up for the fight.
Actually, that's quite racist, because if you must know, we were going to go to the whole, voting, yeah, but it's actually the Festival of Feuerlands here at the moment, where we honor the old generations. So, we all had to work our grandparents clean, yeah, whilst the vote was happening, and that's, a really, really time-consuming process, actually.
You're like...
I knew he was going to talk. You could see.
You had this expression...
Sissy man.
Is like man with tiny penis who like to wash more than once a week.
Actually, that's quite homophobic, yeah,
Oh,
because...
stop winding him up, Ivan. We're not back at the Grange now. Sorry, Jeremy. Ivan and I used to play golf back in my media days.
Yeah, he always wins.
Nothing gives him greater pleasure than grinding people's gears. The more publicly, the better.
Peter, you're like man with tiny penis who think he have tiny penis, but actually he discovered that... Oh, could it be? No, it's tiny penis.
Ivan's just worried that when the rest of the world sees how well we're doing, they'll notice all that.
I wanted to get his reaction in there.
Because that's what these sanctions are, Megan. They're the last pathetic gasp of an establishment in collapse. Wolves at the gates, Ivan, old mate.
Good. You can join others on my wall.
Actually, in Svenland, we have, serious animal welfare legislation. And, my friend Helga, she got arrested, yeah, for killing a butterfly that was hovering over her fuel thing. I mean, in English, jam sandwich.
I used to know a girl called Jam Sandwich. She was a right cracker, too. I wonder what became of her.
We seem to be wandering a little from the news here.
That's human interest, Jeremy. The real people behind the headlines and all that. So if you're watching, Jan, give us a call.
Really?
Yeah. Let's see if we can't organise a reunion.
Christ, I'm not sure about that. I'll have to run it past Mrs. Clement first, eh?
Peter, you're like man trying to empty ashes of mistresses into oncoming vent. Soon you have tiny penis and beard full of secrets.
In Svenland, we don't really go in for all that restrictive monogamy stuff here. We're kind of fluid, actually.
Okay, well, it seems that we are running out of time.
Yes, so before we go to the break, briefly, if you would, gentlemen.
Not bad.
The people of this country facing shortages and power outages.
Possible shortages and power outages.
Yes, of course. Thank you. Possible shortages and power outages. Can you summarise your thoughts for us, Minister Bjerg?
Well, from here, yeah, you all look a bit stupid, really,
Oh, whoops.
arguing about outdated devices, concepts like money. In Svenland, we replaced...
I heard Bjerg and I thought it was the Russian guy.
Back in the 1970s, and that's a
Flute.
really hard to sanction, actually.
Thank you, Minister Votovich.
Your country is like man who think he invented perfect trap for giant mutant hairy bear. When really, he just standing in field
Holding his tiny penis, yes. Thank you, Minister. And finally, Prime Minister Clement.
Let me talk to your viewers here, Jeremy. Don't worry, everybody. Don't be afraid. Don't even lose a wink of sleep. We knew the rest of the world would react this way, and we're ready. As my old man used to say, you can't make a shite pie without blocking a few toilets.
Thank you, Prime Minister.
Reassuring words there.
We'll be back.
Got it.
After these messages.
1 minute back.
Hey, Peter.
Oh, shit. The messages. Oh, my God. I was like, how do I start an ad?
Sure, front or back?
That's what I hope you're asking Megan Wolf for me.
She's out of your league, mate.
Okay.
Careful. It's all part of his long-term plan to get fired live on the news at 6 in front of the nation.
Can someone warn him it's going a little too well?
Okay. I did okay. Couple mess ups there. Mostly built viewers. Segment grade is a B right now. I think we get...
This is important. New government censorship should show up in blue. Same as regular censoring.
Loud.
Keep an eye out for the advanced blue waveform.
The advanced blue waveform. That's still... The intercom is like so loud compared to everything else.
Are you still meant to bow to foreign royalty?
What?
Should I just curtsy?
Hang on.
Who's going to be first? He's going to be first.
Well,
Megan.
Right? Oh, no. She might be first because Jeremy's doing the interview.
Yo, thanks for having me on your show, man.
It's quite all right.
Yo, just a quick one. You're not gonna...
Jeremy is fed up.
So he put that get up on himself. I'm just saying.
Going in 5, 4, 3.
Welcome back. I'm Megan Wolf. Later, we have an exclusive first look at a theatrical sensation
These
everyone's
lightsabers?
going to be talking about. But first, it's time to go over to the culture spot with lovely old Jeremy Donaldson, who's joined by a very special guest. Jeremy.
Little
Thanks,
soon.
Megan. I have the honor and privilege of being joined by hip-hop royalty. He's been called the son of the streets and the father of truth. Not sure how that works. but
Father
whatever.
of truth.
Let's welcome Jesus.
Thanks, Jeremy. Yeah, it's a real honor to be here on your show, The News. You know, as a kid on the streets, I used to watch you through a window of the shop, so to be here right now is crazy.
Mm-hmm. You've had quite the journey to be here today. Can you tell us about it?
Well, you know, I try not to, well, you know, the past is the past, and I don't like to dwell on it.
I understand. You
But yeah, man, the streets is all I remember. Like, my mother donated me to a
Why did
charity
that-
shop soon after I was born. Elderly lady took pity on me. You know, she let me sleep on a pile of crime fiction until I taught myself how to walk.
Wow, that's quite the childhood.
And she died tragically, right there in my arms, man. You know, I remember a tear falling as she laid there next to the used homeware. And in that moment, I became a child of the streets. I was just 18 months old.
What a tale. What a tale. You're known for your direct and honest lyrics. Was your style informed by your troubled past?
Oh, like I said, I try not to talk
You're right,
about
there's
it.
going to be
It's just,
special censoring. The censoring is like legit censorship.
But my first album is about the story of the first 4 times I stole, so I wouldn't starve. A small group of infants came to see me as their de facto leader. They
Nice.
Anyway, we were like a family.
So it would seem. Recently, you've been quite outspoken about the government.
Yeah, fuck the government, fuck Advance, fuck Peter Clement.
What is it that you object to so vehemently?
Well, you know, they stole from us. They're taking our money
I like
and
this
spending
guy.
it, man.
Redistributing it. Actually, homelessness has been all but eliminated in the last couple of months.
So?
Surely that's a cause close to your heart?
Yeah, nah, of course, man, very much so. I just mean, like, why do I have to pay for it, you know?
You don't. People have been rehoused on property seized from the historically wealthy. And that couldn't have been you, could it?
Yeah, I worked hard to be here. I built this from nothing, and I deserve to be rewarded for that.
Would you say you worked harder
Deserve?
than, say, a farmer or a care worker?
I don't know. But if people are taking something from my music, choose to value it, buy it, who's to say I don't? And no one can take that away from me.
Not even to help, say, vulnerable children? Mr. Cheese Slice?
What is it you're trying to say?
I just don't understand where you've placed yourself politically. I mean, is it ideological or is it tactical?
Well, it's more of a
Or
like...
maybe it's hereditary.
Stop trying to tie me in knots with your words, Jeremy. I let the music speak for itself. And the people agree with me.
Well, that remains to be seen.
That was an
Easy segue
inopportune
out of a
time to
conversation
cut
that
away
I
from the
promise you
point, but
was much more painful for me than it was for you. So here he is with his hit song, Mrs. Ludlow's Tears.
Oh, no, I'm going to do something a little different. It's a new single I've been working on.
Oh, so this is unapproved, is it?
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Excellent. Don't worry, we've got a state-of-the-art censorship system. What's the worst that could happen? So here he is with a new song. Aren't we lucky? It's Jesus!
First,
Jesus. I just got that.
you're gonna pay back.
Well, we're all different races from many different places. At any given moment, only one could be the greatest. So you can feel elation from your participation. Still 2 leaders in this motherfucking nation. Now we're getting sanctioned, talking about expansion. Why does Julius require a massive fucking mansion? So fuck all your schemes. I don't need your freaky team, and I don't need your help to achieve my fucking dreams. So don't make a fuss when you find you're one of us. Get every single one of you's a bit Jesus. And you can call me crazy, cause no one ever pays me. But I won't waste a lifetime being motherfucking lazy. I may be inventive, my taste may be expensive, but why would I get out of bed with no fucking incentive? Although it's contravention of your obvious intention, I like to eat a little of the fruits in my invention. You make us the same, but we're not all the same. All our dreams, all our schemes, all our means are not the same. The best of the praise, of the crest of the wave, cause we're only equal people when we're motherfucking slaves. Take this fact, gonna stain it red, gonna slam it into Peter Clemens' motherfucking head, cause he's thick as shit, he's got a job he's unfit for. It's time to spawn a country with a motherfucking pitchfork. So this is for the snubbed ones, the pushed and the shoved ones, the folks that feel the burden of their motherfucking loved ones. Ones who had plenty like a motherfucking Bentley. The ones who now finding out their bank accounts are empty. The ones of aspiration who had to flee a nation. The ones who built a business out of dreams of perspiration. There's all sorts of people, the good and the evil. It only takes a glance to see we're not all equal. You make us the same, but we're not all the same. All our dreams, all our schemes, all our means are not the same. And the best of the praise, serve the press of the ways, cause we're only equal people when we're motherfucking slaves. Gonna take this fight, gonna stay in it red, gonna slam it into Peter Clemens' motherfucking head, cause he's thick as shit, he's got a job he's unfit for. Time to spawn a castle with a motherfucking pitchfork. Get out of your seats, get your asses in the streets, set a fire in the building, let them feel some fucking heat. Say you hate to go getters, you're squilling bet getters, and burn them on the powers of advanced fucking letters. Gonna take this fact, gonna stain it red, gonna slam it into Peter Clemens' motherfucking head.
It's pretty dope.
He's got a job he's unfit for. Time to spawn a castle with a motherfucking pitchfork. Chase that dream, you don't need a fucking team. And advances little dances aren't as harmless as it seems, cause they're stale and corrupt. Then you're angry, corrupt. Then your hearts and your minds and your fists to destruct.
Jesus there with his new song. Thank you so much for joining us in the studio. I'm sorry. I may not agree with you, but I'd just like to offer you an apology. I've just been told that there was some kind of issue upstairs, and an attempt was made to censor some of your lyrics.
What? Are you joking?
I'd just like to say to you and everyone at home that this was a mistake.
This is absolutely ridiculous. I cannot believe this.
Here at the National Nightly News, we pride ourselves on remaining neutral, unbiased, and independent of any outside interference. You have my word. We will never censor ideas. Back to you, Megan.
Well, I censored a lot of ideas there.
Well, thank you to little Jeremy Donaldson for providing our culture spot. Coming up, we'll be speaking to a couple of familiar faces about their upcoming dramatic outing. Don't go away. We'll be right back after this.
That's the ads.
That's the ads right before the ads play. Scared me.
Up, I'm sure. Now, if you come with me, I really do have to ask
Oh,
you to
trust
leave
me.
it.
My father's going to hear about this.
I understand. This is unbelievable, Megan.
I don't know what you're talking about, Jeremy.
Uh-oh, it's getting crazy.
So, you know, Brad, this past fortnight has really been amazing, but I'm afraid I have something to
Who's
tell
that Fortnite?
you. I'm pregnant.
How can that be? You told me you're on the pill.
Not all contraception is 100% reliable, so I guess now we have to get married.
But we've only been on 5 dates. I don't even know you, Julie.
Janet.
Marriage and children seem to be a pretty big decision to make in a wine bar, Janet.
Oh, here we go.
There has to be a better way.
Look at him.
If we could just get you in position.
Oh, say no more. Say no more.
Megan, Jeremy, you remember Mr. Algebra?
Vividly.
This will be interesting. Giving into government censorship. Oh, I didn't have to censor the blue stuff?
Perhaps a lower order demon.
Yes, it is awfully exciting, isn't it?
Right, okay then. We're going live in 10 seconds, opening on camera 1.
I thought I would get in trouble if I didn't censor it.
5, 4, 3.
Oops, I won't be doing any more of that
Welcome
then.
back. And no, you're not mistaken. Sitting across from us are some very familiar faces.
You really are too kind, Megan. It was only a yogurt commercial, but I'm still proud of it.
Here to talk about his new show, we're joined by National Treasure Tommy Harris, the National Theatre's Philippa Rain, and National Deficit Jeff Algebra.
It's so lovely to have you all. Tommy, would you like to tell us about the show?
You know what? I'd bloody love to. It's about me. It's about my life.
And where did the idea come from?
So, right, picture this. Their legs akimbo, mid-session,
Legs
sweat is
akimbo.
pouring out of me like an immense hog. And then Cindy comes in, she says, Pete's on the phone.
That's Peter Clement, the Prime Minister.
Yeah, Pete's actually a really good mate of mine.
Oh, is he really?
Yeah, no, he comes to training sometimes. He's actually a pretty good goal sweeper. Anyway, so, Pete, he says, Toby, he thinks my name's Toby, see? He says, how would you like to spread your message of team spirit and cooperation across this fractured nation? How would you like to really make a difference in these desperate times?
What did you say?
Yeah, right, yeah.
So, Jeff, everyone's lips is, what in God's name are you doing here?
Well, after the success of my debut work and all the people that I've touched, I knew that I had a career in theatre. Yeah? I've always been an admirer of Tommy from afar. So when my manager phoned and said that I'd been offered the gig as director, I was ecstatic. I whipped my trousers off and got straight to work.
Why did you do that?
I do all my best work with my trousers off.
Yeah, I've been told that too.
No, I wouldn't say so.
Right, Tommy, sorry, would you just give us a sense of what the show is actually about?
It's about how hard it's been for me and some of the struggles that I've faced. It's like really getting to the heart of how tough it is to be me. I call it Tommy Harris, Jesus, that was hard.
Catchy. We actually have some clips of the process of the show. Would you mind telling us what's going on here?
Yeah, so the show is built around two things that are very important to me. It mixes scenes from my life. As
Okay,
well
I thought
as
that was going to
epic
change.
fantasy retellings
At
of
least it didn't go
scenes
down.
from my life.
But Dad,
Okay, there we go.
you promised you'd come to my graduation.
I'm sorry, son. You're an embarrassment.
But Dad, you promised you'd come to my graduation.
Back, demon! Back to the hells!
Philippa, what's it been like co-starring with Tommy Harris?
I've always dreamed
Okay.
of treading the boards at medium-scale regional theatres, Megan. And for once, this show really gives me something to sink my teeth into.
What's different about this show, then?
Tommy, Mr. Harris's show really lets me show my tremendous range as an actor. I've always suffered from typecasting, forced to play the same tired characters in every advert or godforsaken soap opera or, God forbid, a pantomime. But, you know, this show has really let me just go there.
Jeff, the viewers at home will be dying to know exactly what is it that you bring to the show?
Good question. I think these guys would agree with me when I say that it's my steady hand on the tiller, my arm round the shoulder approach that's really brought the production from strength to strength.
Absolutely right. Jeff's contributions are immeasurable. He's our rock.
Can you give us a sneak peek of anything else that might be in the show?
Yeah, all sorts, yeah.
Yep. We've got lots of exclusive first-hand experiences of Tommy's time in the underground sports board scene.
And some epic fantasy retellings of Tommy's time in the underground sports board scene.
Okay. I feel bad that I censored so much in that previous one. I didn't know the blue didn't have to be censored.
And am I right in saying this was officially commissioned by the government?
Yeah, all paid for by the taxpayer, which, you know, to be honest, was actually a lifesaver, really.
Yeah, I think it's fair to say that without Advance's support, we'd have had to cut the finale.
Which frankly would have been a travesty.
Oh, God, Jesus Christ!
Oh, shit.
You do
CG.
this every night.
Absolutely. It's a metaphor.
For what?
Death.
And the public are footing the bill, are they?
Too bloody right they are. Between the cost of my tour bus and the dry cleaning and my ties, I'm barely scraping a profit here.
Amazing. And where can the folks at home come and see this for themselves?
We're performing all over the nation.
And people can see it for absolutely free, all courtesy of Advance. Isn't that incredible, Jeremy?
Yes, it's unbelievable, Megan.
Well, thank you all so much for coming. Next time we see you, no doubt you'll have taken our jobs.
Yeah.
That's it. Join us tomorrow when I'll be interviewing the world's most attractive horse. I'm Jeremy Donson.
And I'm Megan Wolfe. And from all of us here, have a peaceful night.
Perfect.
That's the ads. Let's get reset for tomorrow.
Got it, dude.
We must stop bumping into each other like this, eh?
Who do I like more? What do you think of?
Oh.
I like Jeremy more because he clearly is not okay with all of this. Broadcast complete. You know what I mean? Like he seems like he's just about like doing things right. And it's not about like doing things right, like what the government tells you to do. He's about doing what his profession is meant for, right? So he seems kind of like an asshole. Seems like he's trying to get fired, but he does seem like he's not on the government side. He didn't like that I censored, but neither did Megan. I guess Megan is more level-headed. They both seem to be kind of on the same level, actually, now that I think about it. They both don't seem to be approving of the government overreach. But if I had to guess, I would say it's Jeremy who's... If one of them is bad, I think it's Jeremy, only because he's the one who's clearly breaking because of all the government overreach. That's what I would say. We don't need to watch it back. Oh man, we haven't even gotten to her crying yet either. Like a whole month? Day 278, a sign of things to come. Interesting. Wet my whistle for a moment. Yeah, I think I like him more just because he's erratic. He's my favorite so far. Of course, of all the other characters, it's tough because they're all playing different characters, right? But I like the older guy with the older guy in the seat. When there was the three of them, this guy with the long hair, this guy in the chair. He's been funny in all the scenes he's been in. I know they're different people, but like same person, but different people in the show, the same actor. I think he's the funniest of the you know what? He's the funniest of the professionals that they interview so far. Oh, and then Jay Zuss was really funny too, and that guy, he's played other parts too, and he was funny. All right. Shopping, something that has always seemed so tedious before the sanctions, has become even more of a chore now. You managed to get almost everything you need for the family this evening, but you'll have to come back tomorrow to get through the week. There's a queue to leave the car park, though it's hard to make out why in the dark. Hopefully, whatever's causing it won't be long. I don't quite know what that last sentence meant. The car park? I don't know what you mean, like a parking garage. As the final car in front of you drives off, you realize the queue is actually due to a checkpoint set up at the exit. A friendly-looking man in an advanced uniform, CCO, emblazoned in a number of places on it, approaches your car and knocks on the driver's side window. You roll it down. Good evening. Nothing to worry about. I was just wondering if I could see your team membership card, please. Weren't these cards supposed to be voluntary? I'm sorry, I don't have one. Ah, that's not a problem. We've got forms with us right here, and we're more than happy to sign you up. The man gestures to his colleague behind him, a young woman in a similar uniform. She clearly received the short end of the stick and is stuck with the paperwork. Well, I suppose I might as well, as you're here. I thought these cards weren't required. Yeah, what the hell? Well, strictly speaking, they're not. But there's also loads of benefits to having them, and no reason to not get one. His smile fades a bit, and when he puts a hand up to scratch the back of his neck for a moment, he leans over you, his presence now seeming a little intimidating. You make a good point. Sign me up. No. Almost instantly, the friendly demeanor is gone, and his expression is one of stern disapproval. Well, obviously I can't make you sign up, but I would strongly recommend that you do. And soon, we wouldn't want people to think you had anything to hide, would we? He takes a step back and gestures for you to drive on. You're sure you'll see him writing something down in your rearview mirror as you head home, somewhat more hurried than before. Clearly Advanced are very keen on everyone joining the team. Man, doesn't this kind of seem... Hold on. Doesn't this kind of seem familiar? This all seems very realistic. I had the megaphone thing on, so I was like, why does that sound weird? An invitation worth ignoring? It's a Saturday, one of your few days off, and you made the most of it. But as late afternoon draws on, the invitation sits pinned to the fridge, staring accusingly at you. The Channel 1 Gala is a mandatory work event. Bozeman was very quick to tell you. Also, don't you dare be late. You've already skipped a work weekend once. You can't do it again. Best go. Yeah, that's what I would do. Like, you can't skip them all, right? Well, you can. And you should. Because you're not being paid. And you should never do anything you're not being paid for when it relates to work at all. But I would get at least one in. Best start getting ready. You wonder if Sam will give you a lift. A drink or two might help with the enforced office socializing. Hopefully it won't be too bad. After all, you're pretty good at your job, right? 290, a national news night. Okay, so we're back in the studio. No, we're not. We're not back in the studio. You arrive on time, barely, at the Sauvignon, one of the oldest and grandest hotels in the capital. You're surprised to see the queue to get in and quickly realize it's because people are being searched at the door by some very military-looking personnel in smart attire. While you're waiting, you can't help but notice just how very opulent the building is, possibly the fanciest place you've ever been in your life. You submit to being patted down and, with a sigh of relief, are led into the hotel. Once inside, you're directed to the grand ballroom, and following the signs, you marvel at the sheer scale of the place. And the amount of armed security guards as well. When you finally arrive, a very severe-looking woman at the door asks for your name. Severe. I've never heard the word severe used to describe somebody. Also, is this the first time they've said the last name? Channing Brett, what's up? You playing Not for Broadcast because the new DLC gets released November 14th? That's not why I'm playing it, but I will be playing the DLC. Yeah. I haven't played it yet. I didn't know DLC was coming out. I thought it was just already out. That's sick, dude. Welcome, Channing. I just noticed though, did it ever mention that his last name was Winston? Is this the first time? It has, right? I just didn't put two and two together. And Winston was the main character in 1984, and that's what this has a huge vibe around. So clearly he was inspired by that, right? He's got to be. It's like his name is definitely inspired by Winston, and the whole game is inspired by 1984, right? It's got to be. That's what it is. Anyway, I am Alex Winston. Said that weird. She curtly checks her list before whispering something to the waiter beside her. You've made it just in time to be seated before dinner. Please, follow Emmanuel here to your table. The waiter smiles at you and opens one of the great double doors, gesturing for you to enter. Immediately, you can see why it's called the Grand Ballroom. You pause for a second to take it all in. Gotta wet that whistle, baby. You feel a slight tap on your arm, and Emmanuel gestures for you to follow him. He seats you at the table in the center floor area with a decent view of the stage. Clearly, you're in Bosman's good books at the moment. You're sat with some colleagues you've seen around the Channel 1 offices before, but don't know that well. Man, that is a comma or two. Throw in there. One of them informs you far too excitedly it's a very corporate evening of awards and speeches. At least the food should be good. Better be good. Dinner is indeed lovely, and with the help of the, no doubt very expensive, wine, conversation flows easily enough. In fact, much to your surprise, you're actually presented with an award for Best Newcomer to the Channel 1 family. Well, this is certainly unexpected. I suck. Or at least my first few days sucked. The first few days that I could play. Did better. I did better last time. As you walk up to collect it, you recognize the presenter as Dr. Adrian Atkinson Blimey of Incisors fame. He thanks Advance for sponsoring this year's gala before specifically thanking Prime Ministers Julia Salisbury and Peter Clement for being in attendance tonight. As you take to the stage, you see the frontmost center table does indeed seat the Prime Ministers, as well as Bozeman, Megan, and some other well-to-do types that you don't recognize. That explains all the security. As you're handed the award, Dr. Atkinson Blimey asks you if you'd like to say a few words. You're a little nervous and you splutter out some quick praise for Advance and Channel 1. You make a joke, thanking Dave for fleeing the country and leaving you his job. Most of the room breaks into a polite laughter, but you see that neither of the Prime Ministers cracks so much as a smile, and nor does Bozeman. He's too busy frantically flipping between examining Peter and Julia for a reaction, and glaring daggers at you. Eventually, they join in the light applause as Adrian ushers you back to your seat. That may not have been the smartest move. It's a little joke. It's a wee little joke, baby. Just as you're finishing up dinner, one of the other people at your table points behind you. As you turn to see Bozeman walking briskly past with Julia Salisbury and Peter Clement in tow, you're pretty sure he was pointedly ignoring you. He seems to be introducing the Prime Ministers to a selection of people at different tables. Better than you. Agreed. You finish off the rest of the meal, listen to the last few speeches, and then head home. All in all, it was a surprisingly nice evening. You might actually look forward to the next one, providing Bozeman invites you to that one, of course. He won't. Or maybe he will. Maybe he'll let me redeem myself. I'm not gonna, dude. You can't even tell a harmless joke. I'm gonna lose my job. I feel like I'm gonna be abducted by the government. Day 296, the heat wave. Oh. I thought it wasn't working. Damn. Ooh, that's gonna be tough. All right, so we gotta keep the fan on. I need vision mixer. I don't need the VHS rack until.
Be in a better mood today. She's not even here.
Yes, but he is. Our gun-toting handler.
Who, Andy?
I don't know what the fuck his name is, do I?
He's here to keep us safe from people like Disrupt.
More like keep us alive.
Damn it, dude. Sound desk. What's...
Good evening. I'm Jeremy Dawson.
Hey.
Our main headlines tonight. siege mentality. The World Council today established a military blockade to enforce the
That's really
unjust
fucking annoying.
punitive sanctions now entering their 10th week. In a statement from team headquarters a short time ago, Prime Minister Julia Salisbury issued a commanding
What's the
response
sound desk?
to
This?
unprovoked
This right here?
escalation.
Yeah, it is. Okay, I can't censor.
The World Council should make no mistake. This blockade and the illegal sanctions it seeks to enforce are an act of war and will be treated as such. Any incursion, however slight, into our territory will be met with swift and deadly force. You have been warned.
Okay, we're good.
Beer in the headlights. Burgeoning brewmeister Johnny Hamsleeves has today launched a new marketing campaign to revitalise the image of his unpopular Hibbot Ale. Adamant that his craft brew could be a commercial success if only he could get in front of the right audience, Johnny's gone to surprise.
I don't know what it meant by that. The power is fine.
In a move he's calling groundbreaking and his accountants are calling irresponsible, Johnny has launched 1,000
Stop telling me to check power.
where they've now settled into geostationary orbit. He's hailing it as a landmark achievement, while scientists are condemning his cosmic flight tipping. In it to win it.
The phone's gone.
Exciting news from Advance today with the announcement of a new monthly prize draw for all team membership card holders. Every month, lucky winners from across the country will be picked at random to receive what Team HQ are describing as unique prizes worth more than money used
It
to
keeps
be.
telling me to check power. I
Take-up
don't know
on the scheme
why.
has been much higher than expected. And if this lucky winner's delighted face is anything to go
Because
by,
I have stuff
it
turned
looks like
off?
pretty
That's
soon
on purpose.
Everyone's going to have one. Bitter pill. Is this the beginning of the end for responsibility? The male contraceptive pill, lauded by scientists as a remarkable achievement, has been widely
I like all the
rejected by
anger
public.
stuff.
Sales of the revolutionary drug have been non-existent, with many claiming the world simply wasn't ready for such a shift in radical reproductive politics.
Stop.
Relentless CEO Sophia Remington has refused to bow to public pressure and give up on the treatment. Seen here outside Remington Cysts HQ, the dogged businesswoman called the failure a minor hiccup before reducing 2 reporters to tears. Fungi or fundi? As their supplies dwindle, the scientists of Dante's Taint have had to supplement their food stores with more unconventional cuisine. After funding was pulled due to
Ooh.
public outrage, all attempts to rescue the researchers have now been
The blue one looks cool. Stop
David
telling me to
English
check the
joint
power,
team are not
dude.
going
If I
down
turn the
without
power
fight.
on, it's going to
They've begun
overheat.
experiment with the available food
So the VHS rack is off and the sound desk is off. And leave me alone.
Of eating the newly discovered flora, the scientists resorted to deciding which to eat based on their favorite color. FX7B3 has become the staple of their subterranean diet, and reportedly, despite its appetizing aroma, tastes like your dad's
We're
old feet.
fleeing
Life during
underground,
wartime,
going
As if we didn't have
subterranean.
enough aggressors on our borders, internal problems are growing for the government as radical activists
Right, you
group
meant to
Disrupt
point the
caused
fan
chaos
at the
in
overheating
Parliament Park
bulbs.
last night. Scuffles broke
Oh,
out
you
after
have
the
to-
protest, resulting in multiple arrests and the injury of 3 community cohesion officers.
Ooh, that one.
Advance have yet to comment. The reckless fire will certainly be remembered by all those who have seen these striking images. As their actions escalate, people across the country are asking themselves,
Okay.
who are Disrupt, and what exactly do they want?
I didn't realize.
Other than a new box of matches, of course. All this, and I'll be talking to some people with fascinating medical conditions, as well as one of the contenders in this year's Feline Football Championship, and her proud owner. That's all up on tonight's National Nightly News.
Okay. Simple start. The overheating doesn't seem to be a problem as long as you manage it well. It's going to be a problem here in a moment. Oh shit. It's just straight fried. What?
First tonight, our team of colours.
It's over. Hey, that's not annoying or anything. All right, let's try that again. What's the deal? Why won't it let me flip the power back on? And why is it turning the actual fan switch off? That's annoying. Oh my god, I gotta go through all this again? What a pain in the fucking ass.
just strapped on their wax wings.
Classical illusions are no substitute for air conditioning.
You know, I genuinely thought you'd be in a better mood today. She's not even here.
Yes, but he is. Our gun-toting handler.
Who, Andy?
I don't know what the fuck his name is, do I?
He's here to keep us safe when people like disrupt.
More like keep us in line. I hate guns. Give me the willies.
10 seconds, everybody.
So we've got any actual real news tonight?
Okay.
Oh, the world's on fire.
Just check it every 30 seconds or so, like 5 nights. Okay.
3.
Good evening, I'm Jeremy Donaldson. Our main headlines tonight. Siege mentality. The World Council today established a military blockade to enforce the unjust and punitive sanctions.
I'll pick a different option. Is that why it keeps telling you to check power? Because it's trying to get you in the habit of doing it?
Issued a commanding response
Even when you don't need to?
this unprovoked escalation.
I mean,
The World Council should make no mistake. This blockade and the illegal sanctions it seeks to enforce are an act of war and will be treated as such. Any incursion, however slight, into our territory will be met with swift and deadly force. You have been warned.
Beer in the headlights. Burgeoning brewmeister Johnny Hamsleeves has today launched a new marketing campaign to revitalise the image of his unpopular Headbutt Ale. Adamant that his
we'll pick a different option this time.
If only he could get in front of the right audience, Johnny's gone to surprising lengths in his latest PR stunt. Johnny admits that rebranding Headbutt Ale as the beer of choice for outlaw bikers Satan's elbows without their permission was a risky move, but says the bearded howls, flying furniture and general air of menace was a surprise. In it to win it, exciting news from Advance today with the announcement of a new monthly prize draw for all team membership card holders. Every month, lucky winners from across the country will be picked at random to receive what Team HQ are describing
We'll pick
as
him, he looks
unique
funny.
prizes worth more than money used to be. Take-up on the scheme has been much higher than expected, and if this lucky winner's delighted face is anything to go by, it looks like pretty soon everyone's going to have one. Bitter pill. Is this the beginning of the end for responsibility? The male contraceptive pill, lauded by scientists as a remarkable
All right, we'll
achievement,
pick that one
has
this
been
time.
widely
I'm trying to pick
rejected by the
everything
public.
different since if we
Sales
got to
of the
start from the
revolutionary drug have
checkpoint, we
been
might as well.
non-existent, with many claiming the world simply wasn't
Might
ready
as well
for
get
such a
some new
shift
shit.
in radical reproductive politics. Relentless CEO Sophia Remington has refused to bow to public pressure and give up on the treatment. Seen here outside Remington Cysts HQ, the dogged businesswoman called the failure a minor hiccup before reducing 2
That's
abortions
funny.
to
I just
tears.
noticed these. Were these always here?
Fungi or fungi? As their supplies dwindle, the scientists of Dante's Taint have had to supplement their food stores with more unconventional cuisine. After funding
I
was
will pick
pulled
that
due to
one.
public outrage, all attempts to rescue the researchers have now been
This ought to go interesting. Am I
But David
picking?
and Ingrid's joint team are not going down
Or
without a
did you
fight.
go
They've
similar
begun
to me and I
experiment
just
with the available
took a left
food
course?
sources. Trufflewonga aquatica, known locally as Forsborg and Horgan's weed, has become a key part of the scientist's diet, despite the lack of knowledge as to its long-term effects. Let's hope they don't sprout any unwanted Forsborg and Horgan limbs. Life during wartime. As if we didn't have enough aggressors on our borders, internal problems are growing for the government as radical activist group Disrupt caused chaos in Parliament Park last night. Scuffles broke out after the protest,
And that
resulting
one.
in multiple
That
arrests
is a
and the
funny-looking
injury of
person.
3 community cohesion officers. Advance have yet to comment. As grassroots support for the movement grows rapidly, especially in those areas Advance have not yet been able to fully regenerate, people across the country are starting to fear
I'm just gonna
return
every time it tells me to
bad old
check,
days
I'm
of
just gonna move the
inequality,
camera a little bit,
division, and multiple
or
television
the
shows
fan a
about
little bit,
buying houses.
to a
All
different
this,
different
and I'll be talking
fuse.
to some people with fascinating medical conditions, as well as one of the contenders in this year's Feline Football Championship, and her proud owner. That's all up on tonight's National Nightly News.
Nice. It's nice. All right, we got it this time, dude. We're good. We're fine. That doesn't make any sense. Is that a GFI switch there? Got it. All right.
But first tonight, Our team of correspondents has been dispatched to every corner of the country to see how the people of this great nation of ours are coping with this unprecedented hot weather. First, let's go to Megan Wolf in Shining-on-Sea to see what this scientific community has to say. Megan, how's the weather there?
It's absolutely glorious, Jeremy. Thank you for asking. I'm here with Dr. Anna Burns.
Can it handle all of this on, or does it overheat slower if I turn them off?
Yes, it's wonderful, isn't it? My eyelids are sweating.
And you're part of a team carrying out a study into just what's causing this unbelievable heat, is that right?
Yes, that's correct. Yes, we want to be able to reassure the public once and for all that there's absolutely nothing to worry about and that they can enjoy their sunstroke and fossil fuels in peace.
Something's happening over
I'm
here.
very confident about that.
Oh, very much so. I can say without any hesitation, there's really no cause for any concern here. I've actually left my car running.
So tell us about this experiment.
Well, we take data from weather stations from all over the world, along with atmospheric samples, and we take all that and we feed it into this state-of-the-art computer, and very soon we'll be getting a high-tech readout of the results.
Blimey, that sounds very fancy.
I should just say, none of this would be possible without the generous support of Remington's Fist. This is all thanks to their unrivaled investment in our future, and may I just say, complimentary personal anecdote.
Okay.
Here we go. And, as expected,
Jeremy, I'm so tempted to go over here because Jeremy's not having it.
This can't be right.
Right, but obviously you said a second ago that everything is absolutely fine, so...
Well, actually, under concern level, it just says, why, God, why?
We should be celebrating these wonderful results, I think.
Yeah? We need to evolve gills within 40 years.
You look thirsty.
It says, shit.
Look at you. This is meant to be a celebration. Can't go around looking like that.
Shit,
there you go.
shit,
Much
shit.
better. Can I just say thank you again to Sophia Remington for...
Everyone, we don't have long. Time is running out.
It's running out. Absolutely right. That is all we have time for.
Abandon hope and return to the forest.
There you are. Enjoy that. I'd like to thank Dr. Burns for just one opinion on the climate.
The sea will reclaim us all.
There you have it, Jeremy. Proof, if proof be need be, that everything is just fine. I'm Megan Wolf, here with science. Back to you.
Megan Wolf there.
There we go. That was clean.
Next, heads over to Robin Short, who's in Scritchford with some of the
This is
winners
for
of
sure
this
going to have
week's
some
team
censoring.
membership lottery. Robin?
Thanks, Jeremy. I'm here in Scritchford with Gary Failsafe, a janitor at the local school, and Amelia Jackhammer, an aspiring poet. Both of you were drawn at random from those who hold team membership cards to receive this week's amazing prize. How do you feel?
Filled with fervent euphoria.
Yeah, good, yeah.
And all that we had to do was fill in a quick form or two.
Wow, that sounds so convenient.
Nice.
But we're all dying to know, what have you won?
That's right, Robin. I've won dinner with Julius Salisbury at one of the capital's top restaurants.
Ooh, swanky.
And I've been invited to Peter Clement's house to help him dredge the gutter in.
That's absolutely terrific. You must both be over the moon.
I've written a poem about it.
So, can you tell me
Lovely.
about the moment when you first heard the news?
Well, I was battling against a particularly
I
difficult
like this game a lot. Is it? You think it's going to be worth playing
I was
again?
involved in a similarly brutal conflict with a particularly
I
arduous
just purposely pick
stanza.
all different
So you were
options,
both
but I really like this. I
polishing
kind of
No, I don't like to polish them. I like to
want
keep
to
them
see how
intact
it'd go
for
if I
collection.
did better and did less censoring.
How unexpected.
Not less censoring, but the government censoring. I'd just not do it at all.
I write poetry.
Potato, potato. So, Gary,
Do you think
Oh shit.
Clement's going to let me keep the contents of his downpipe?
there's no harm in asking, I suppose.
Or would you like to hear one?
No,
She's
thank
gonna-
you.
she's gonna have curse
Gary,
words in her poem.
When you signed up for team membership, was it in hopes of winning the lottery, or were there other reasons?
I like a flutter, of course.
Oh, there's
but
two
no,
DLCs. Yeah,
the
yeah,
boss
yeah,
said I
yeah,
had to
yeah,
sign up
yeah,
to keep
yeah.
coming into school.
Yeah, we got plenty. Once we
sensible.
finish this, we'll
It's
wait for the
important to know
DLC.
who we're trusting around our
Yeah, that's what
children.
Channing just said a moment ago. Thank you for following us, by the way, Channing. I think I said thank you. For that.
No.
Or an anthology
Thank you again. Thank you again.
on the death of innocence.
I'd rather hear about Gary's turd collection.
Really?
He's got a turd
I thought you
collection.
might say that.
Are you all right?
Yes, it's coming.
So this right here, this activity that I'm doing, you can hear it in my left ear.
It's delicious.
Right,
I
you
think it's
are.
heavy on the power system.
Today on the show.
All right, this is going to have
news.
curse words for
Just
sure.
a man who keeps multiple poos.
Here, this big one's my favourite. See how it's fibrous, really lovely texture.
Would you encourage other people to enter for their chance to win?
If it's colour you're looking for, take a gander at old Blue Eyes here.
The national news lost its way when it covered some crap on a tray.
Some of these are quite rare.
Maybe that was
Jeremy up here shaking his head.
For today. Back to you, Jeremy.
Thanks, Robin. What a
Wow.
And finally in this segment, it's over to Patrick Bannon, who's gone to the smelliest town in the country to see how the unprecedented weather is affecting the locals. Patrick?
Hello there, Jeremy. Hello, yes. I'm here live in Grizzleford, which was recently voted the smelliest town in the country. And I have to say that, you know, in this heat, the smell really is. I mean, it's something else. Barry Lardons, mate, you've lived here your whole life.
Okay.
How'd you put up with the stink?
Well, we're just all
Getting
very
better
proud
at
of
it,
our
dude.
achievement, to be honest with you. You can tell that, look at him, proud as punch. Do you know what it's like, son, being the second smelliest town? No, I don't. Living in the shadow of Arseminster. Those smug fucks. But who's laughing now?
Oh, I missed it. I was just laughed at it.
So what happened, mate?
Right, the good people from Remington's Fist came in and saved the day with their factory.
You're talking, of course, about the newly built flour factory.
Yeah, they gave us this big presentation on jobs and growth. But as soon as we heard about the stench, we paid them whatever they wanted to put it here.
Does the stink not affect your life in every way, Barry? I mean, perhaps if you're filling in a tax return or completing the physical act of love.
It's strong at first, but you get used to it after several weeks of your first bout of sickness. The judges were very impressed.
So what's the sickness?
Oh, that's nothing to worry about. It takes a few minutes before you develop any symptoms. Now, folk are saying something about the production line and how they dump carcasses directly into the water main, but I think it's probably the few valves on the high street.
On the high street? Should I see a doctor? What are the symptoms?
Well, the first one is asking stupid questions. Then folk experience a loss of inhibition.
Fuck off, do they? When was the last time you brushed your teeth?
Next recording is a period of randomly bursting into song, followed immediately by delusions of grandeur.
Oh, that's not really a problem. Never sung in my life. Hello, it's sexy Patrick Bannon, and he's wearing sexy shorts now. Oh my God, look at me. I'm gorgeous. Why didn't you tell me? I should take my shirt off. You know what? I'll even let you touch me if you want.
That will be the bout of undeserved self-confidence.
Love the Bannon. Feel the Bannon. Oh, man, what's the point?
And the ennui. All that's left now are the hallucinations and unconsciousness.
Nana Dottie? Was that you? Why are you made out of elbows?
Why are you made out of elbows?
Oh, don't worry, folks. Once he wakes up, he'll be just fine. We'll just find a place to stick him where it won't matter how many times he evacuates his bowels.
Gross.
Right, that's all here from Grizzleford, a town that's really making a stink. I'm Barry Lardons. Back to you, Jeremy.
Thanks, Barry. With a naval blockade being set up around our coastline as we speak, when we come back,
man.
I'll be talking to 3 members of
All right,
the
we got
general
an ad
public
to play.
who
Let's
appear to be here
play
purely for medical reasons. Don't go away.
Crazy
Unless,
Neil,
of
because we
course,
know that's
You've
fun.
got something better to do. We'll be back after these messages.
1 minute back.
Well, that was stupid.
I'm trying. Oh, shit.
I don't care. It's done.
The next guest has suitable opinions for the evening news.
And I can't do
Keep your
this
eyes and ears peeled for subversive talk. It would be nice if you could try not to undermine the station tonight. People are starting to notice, you know.
Ooh. Ooh, wait. Yeah, dude. I just saw that. Was that there earlier? I thought it was. I just didn't pay attention. Damn it, I fucked that up. I was doing so good. I forgot that the VHS was off, and I knew it was coming. I just didn't prep.
Catching nets. Well, I don't care what you think. I'm gonna drop them even further. We got rubber rings for pets. We got rubber rings for you. We got rubber rings for them. We got rubber rings for her. Are you the managing director? No. We got everything from pina coladas, lifeboat starters, ladies on nylons. We got men in silos. If your favorite hobby is ice sculpting whilst the outside is boiling, we can let you sculpt dragons. We can let you sculpt flagons.
I can't do this anymore, Jenny. I've had enough. That's it. This is just
10 seconds. Get over yourself, Jeremy. Why don't you stop feeling sorry for yourself for 5, 4, 3.
Welcome back to the National Night in News. Your host, Jeremy Donaldson. Later, we'll be talking to the captain of the territory's first cat football team, Professor Pumpkin. But first, I'm joined by 3 guests with some balmy bodily behaviours. Joining me is a woman who's been hiccuping for over 9 months. Isn't that right, Miss Piercy?
Yes, that's right.
Yes. Tell us, what brought all this on?
Well, it's all a bit of a blur, Jeremy, to be totally frank with you. See, I was watching your show and I remember seeing the news about the election, and it hasn't stopped since.
Fascinating stuff. Also here is Frankie Steampipe. Perhaps you could explain to us exactly what your physiological foreboil is.
I'm here to say it's high time people like me were respected. We're constantly over.
He was in that
workplace,
picture of-
We're whispered about on buses, and we're asked politely to leave children's birthday parties. And it's disgusting. I'm sorry, my bowels have comic timing.
And finally, by a man who answers every question honestly, even when it isn't aimed at him. How do you cope with that, Mr. Truman?
With a combination of booze, self-hatred, and hardcore pornography.
Is that right?
Not according to my therapist.
Well, in that case, let's speak to Rose. Tell me, how does the hiccuping impact you?
I get shushed a lot, which is hard. At work, they've asked me to stop answering the phones. It's really affected my confidence.
Well, I find it really fucking irritating.
Do people tend to believe your story?
Fuck no.
Actually, I've been surprised at how much
Too
support I've
early.
received.
And Frankie, why have you come here today?
Because my wife left me, and I was hoping that the fame would win her back.
We've started a group for people with ailments deemed broadly comical by society. It's called Take Us Seriously.
That's right. And we bloody well mean it.
And who's joined so far?
A bunch of fucking losers.
It's just us so far.
And how much success have you had?
Well, we've seen some real positive changes.
I don't want to toot my own horn, but it's been a runaway success.
Shit all. Not a single person come to our fun run, and all of our leaflets fell in the canal.
Oh, God.
Some people are saying your condition was actually caused by the shocking events of that night. What do you think?
Come down, Mr. Donaldson. That's absolute rubbish.
What it'd be like to have a pair of tits.
Could you? I'm sorry, it's very hot. What was I thinking?
That you're a team fuck puppet?
No.
Or a sellout cunt?
Apologies. Just a reminder that he can't help it. And hey, if this isn't live television, then what is it?
Fuckfest of propaganda masquerading as journalism.
Right, Frankie, Rose, tell us, how can the viewers get involved with your cause?
Yes, we're holding a sponsored run in Capital Park next weekend.
He's gonna shit himself.
No Smiles, 13 miles.
No, it's called the No Laugh Half. What did I say before the show?
That it was the team pulling Jeremy Donaldson's strings.
No, I didn't say.
Wow, we may have to end that there, unfortunately. What a harmless bit of fun.
Steady on!
This is exactly what I'm talking about. We demand respect.
Yes, well, later, I'll be talking to Professor Pumpkin. A ginger tabby with a world-class pair of penalty balls.
Make sure they see.
Is that really necessary?
No, it isn't. Let go. Not you.
Unhand him at once.
It's not enough. That's enough. Enough.
What are you doing?
Yeah, Jeremy.
Alex, cut.
Don't you dare. Don't you fucking dare cut to the ads before I tell you to. Now, You in the broadcast centre. Bozeman's Little Cape Home. You listen to me. You cut the ads before I tell you to, and I will kill every single person
If I do, will he?
in this studio. I am thinking about what I'm doing. I've been thinking about it for a long time. We all should be. Christ, it's so fucking hot in here. Do you remember when we used to do the real news? Before it was all lottery winners and bloody cat football? We are on the brink of a siege, the likes of which the world hasn't seen in hundreds of years. The enemy is at the gates, and I'm stuck here talking to these three fucking idiots.
I think my hiccups have stopped.
You three, get the fuck out of my studio. Go on, now, go, before I change my mind.
I definitely like Jeremy.
Jenny, lock the doors. Lock the doors.
Yes, Jeremy.
Now. Good. Yes. Now. Right then. You in the broadcast centre. Alex, you listen to me. You pay attention. Now, I'm sure you've already loaded up exactly what you're going to play in the commercial, but today is going to be a little bit different. Look to your right.
I got it already, baby.
Really. Look to your right.
I got you. I'm on your side.
And I want you to load it into one of the machines, and when I say so, and not before, you play it. You've got about 15 seconds, so I wouldn't waste any time. Now, all cameras.
Alex, I know I've doubted your competence, but surely even you know better than to play that tape. We don't take orders from armed lunatics. Play a normal advert, or there will be consequences.
Or for now, we're going to show the other side for a bit. For a bit of fucking balance. Like the good old days. Alex, play the fucking tape. Now, I don't want to hurt any of you. If I see anything I don't like,
That was
I
close.
will not hesitate to
That was
start
close.
by killing this man. Now, reset the system for a third second. I'll imagine it rates
Let's hope you made the right call.
You've seen our symbols on your walls. You've heard them lie about us on the news. We are the resistance. We are Disrupt, and we're going to tell you the truth. Advance, aided by the mass media, are lying to you. The elderly are not a burden. The rich were not all crazy. And the team membership card is an ID card, no matter how tempting the prizes are. But who am I to tell you this? A voice from the shadows trying to tell you that everything you know is wrong. Why would you trust
I think I know who this is. It's the Andrew Tate guy. Right? Yeah.
Don't switch off. Please, don't switch off. My name is Alan James, and I think that certain rights are worth fighting for. The right to keep the rewards of our own hard work. The right to be kept alive in our dotage. And the right to question our government without worrying what our children will report to their fellow go-getters. I love this country. It may be what I am, and I'll fight for it. In fact, I'll die for it, if I have to. But I can't do it alone. Disrupt are a growing movement, but we need your help, your support. Please, look for us, find us, and if you also know in your heart that there is something deeply wrong in this country, join us. Resist. Disrupt.
This wasn't what I planned. I mean, some of it was. I had a speech, look. This was unexpected.
So what now, Jeremy?
It was supposed to be your day off.
God, please, don't do any more stupid things today.
How long? How long, Jenny?
You're already live.
Welcome back to the National Nightly News. Joining me, unexpectedly, for what I very much imagine will be my last broadcast, are two new guests. Jenny works here at the National Nightly News and is someone I consider, well, a friend. And next to her is, what's your name?
Andy.
Andy's a policeman. Only we don't call him that anymore. He's a community cohesion official.
Officer.
Sorry?
It's community cohesion officer, CCO.
And how's that feel, Andy? Being rebranded?
It's good. it's not about confrontation anymore. You know, the Force had its fair share of problems. The team doesn't have as many.
But it still has some.
I couldn't say.
Couldn't or wouldn't?
I don't know what you want me to say.
Christ, you're fucking useless, aren't you? We'll come back to you later. Jenny?
I don't want to be on the news, Jeremy.
That's perfectly understandable. You'd want to do this. Jenny, why did you join the National Nightly News team?
I always wanted to work in news.
Yes, but why specifically this program? The National Nightly News.
It was the news everyone trusted.
Was?
Is. Do you really want to quibble semantics at gunpoint?
Is there something else you'd rather discuss?
Well, there is a great big Alan James-sized elephant in the room you seem to be ignoring.
What do you mean?
I saw your face when that hood came down. You didn't know, did you?
It's about the message, not the messenger.
Like I said, you didn't know.
No. I didn't know. The people I met were with... He wasn't there.
God,
I didn't know it was
sorry.
Alan James.
I'm sorry. But seriously, Alan fucking James. You're flushing your life down the toilet for... God, I love you, Jeremy, but...
He's a good speaker. He's popular in the country.
That right?
Look, forget Alan James. There is still something deeply wrong. And you know it, Jenny. And you know it, Andy. And you at home, you know it too. Meanwhile, I'm interviewing a guest who stinks of shit. Patrick is paddling about in shit. And Robin is literally interviewing someone who collects the fucking stuff. I mean, it's not sophisticated, but what a metaphor. We are sleepwalking our way into oppression, and the news isn't saying anything. We're not saying anything.
Says who? Alan fucking James.
What are all those scientists working on at Grantham Downs? What are they testing underground at Altergrave? Andy, your turn. Make yourself fucking useful. How many people have you brought in for consultations just because they weren't carrying or didn't have team membership cards?
Oh, well, there's other forms of identification that we will accept.
For how long?
We're just here to help.
Then why do you need these? Not really help when it's offered at gunpoint, is it, Andy? Let me demonstrate it for you. Let me help you. You read these cards with my notes on it, and you'll probably digest a fact. That'd be helpful, wouldn't it, Andy? Knowing a fact?
What? I don't understand.
Do you want my help,
Yes,
Andy?
yes, whatever you say, yes.
Security are here, Jeremy.
Eat it.
What?
Eat the fucking news, Andy, or I'll force it down your fucking throat.
Jeremy, stop.
Go on.
Really?
Eat it. Eat it, you fucking bully.
Jeremy, stop.
They will kill you. Please, don't make me watch that.
Of course. You're right. Sorry. Sorry, everyone. You can put the card down now, Andy.
Because I'm going to shoot you.
You can go now. You too, Jenny. Fuck off over there. We're nearly done. All cameras on me. This new regime of ours is so seductive. I understand that. But before we all hand off our freedoms, should we ask to whom we're handing them over? Don't you want to know what's being done in your name? How many people were transitioned last month? A record high. Again, if you care. Shouldn't someone ask Advance how they plan to deal with this blockade? How many years or months of supplies we have? Why aren't we asking these questions instead of, whose shit is this? There's a cat backstage dressed as a fucking goalie, for Christ's sake. He's even got the little gloves. Anyway, that's why I arranged for you to see.
Oh my god, I can't keep it on.
I didn't know it was going to be him. But I guess that just about sums it up. We are all up Ship Creek with a paddle made of Alan fucking James. Christ, it's all so fucking pointless. I was going to quit tonight. Take a holiday. Try something else. Out of the limelight. Maybe try having a relationship. I hear they're nice. Never tried it. I loved them.
That's what I thought. He really was about the
Oh,
news.
God, Jeremy, don't! I've tried my best to be honest with you, but this just isn't the news anymore. And I'm sorry. I've lost this fight.
Nope. No.
Please, we can't show
All
this
of
cut
you.
to the
My name's Jeremy
Now!
Donaldson.
Do it now!
If you can, somehow. And I envy you if you can. Have a peaceful night.
Jeremy!
Damn. God damn. Bye-bye, Jeremy. Shit. Okay, let's obviously turn that down. Woo! Don't do drugs, they're bad. Huh? Woo! Damn, dude. Bye-bye, Jeremy. I guess that's why you asked if who was my favorite. That's wild. That's wild. Jeremy was one of the good ones. Thoughts? I don't quite know what matters about it being the Andrew Tate guy, who is obviously, that's who that is. Right? That's obviously what it's supposed to be. Yeah. Okay. Sequence is C. Sequence E, I think, is because I showed the gunshot. So that just alone was enough to make it an E. So total grade is a C, but we had first a C and then A. I feel like we could have gotten an A for this one, but I really fucked it up with that VHS player not being enabled. Sequence E, I didn't even know it goes that low. You have received your full wages. Current wealth, broke ass poor. I'm still broke ass poor. Or I've been broke ass poor before, so I'm back up. Was I worse for a while? All right. That was good. That was good. That was interesting. That was crazy. Day 297, a tape to remember. Is this... All right, we're back into dialogue. All right, we're going to pick up here in the next one. That was crazy. I was not expecting that. I didn't think it'd have anything like that, but that's cool. I liked it a lot. We'll be... How far into this are we? Are we getting close to... I feel like we're down to like the last third of the game at least. So yeah, I'm excited to get back into it.